Okay, please pause and read over the 7 different definitions. Some of them are common sense, the other ones may be new, but this is a very important one for today. The one I want you to look at is rate is another word for percent. So keep that in mind. Rate is percent that they're looking for. Okay, now I hope you recognize this. Let's go through it. Ms. Cohen paid $272.75 in county taxes last year. If the county taxes are having a 4% increase this year, how much more will she pay? So how much more will she pay is just how much is that 4%. Now I hope you recognize this as a part over whole, percent over 100. So part over whole equals percent over 100. Ratio equal to another ratio, put that 100 on bottom. Now that 100 is last year's taxes, 272.75. Now what I have here is it's looking for, it gives me the 4%, that's always over on top of the 100, and they're looking for how much that 4% is worth. So basically you cross multiply. 100x equals 272.75 times 4. So I'm going to go off to the side. 272.75 times 4. I move over twice because that's representing those two. You start at that end. So x equals 1091. Now I'm going to go back and divide by 100. So I have x equals, moving over twice, divide by 10, divide by 100, 10.91. Now you're not done because you need to represent it in dollar signs. $10.91. Now move on. Now pause your video and try this one all on your own. When you're done, check your answer with a neighbor. Make sure you realize and you remember that if you have money only goes this far. So if you have a number that is less than 5, you drop it. If you have a number that's more than 5, that goes to 296. You are rounding appropriately. So on this, Harlow wants to purchase a new clarinet that costs $272. The sales tax, when they rang it up, came out to $22.44. So what is the rate of the sales tax? And if you paid attention to the very beginning on those definitions, rate just means percent. What percent is that sales tax? So again, it is part over whole equals percent over 100. So ratio equal to another ratio, that 100 stays. Now the percent, I hope you realize, is what you're looking for because it is the sales tax. Now the sales tax, what it equaled was $22.44. And of course the 100% of the clarinet was $272. So let's go ahead and cross multiply. You have 272x equals, and you're multiplying this number times 100. So put your pencil on the dot. That is times 10. That is 100. So it comes out to 2,244. Just love multiplying by those because this means move your decimal once and twice. Move it to get bigger. So you're dividing by 272. Divide by 272. So let's go off to the side. 2244 divided by 272. Now I know it's not going to go into 224, so I have to divide it by the 2,244. So let's figure out how much that was. 272, I'm going to guess 8. So it's 16, 56, 57, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21. So if I add another 272 to that, it's going to get too big to be the 2,000. So I know that is an 8. It goes above that last 4. So 2176. And then when you subtract, borrow, so that is a 14 minus 6, and you get 8. Borrow, that's a 1, that's 13 minus 7, which is a 6, 0, and 0. So it's 68. So I got to keep going, add that decimal, and add that 0. And that's going to go in there because that's about 300. That is a 2. So 2 times that, 4. 14, carry the 1, and that is a 5. So that gets you a remainder right here. 7, 6, 3, 1. Add a 0, and that will come out to a 5. 1360, and your remainder is 0. So x equals that, your final answer, 8.25%. It is a lot of division. You got to practice it. Okay, now pick up your pencil and try this one on your own. Set it up just like the example. Check your answer with a partner. Okay, Yezi and her friend have a lunch bill that's $42.75 before tax. They're adding tax and it's 9%, and then they leave a $7 tip. How much will they pay? Well, first off, I don't want to forget that. So I'm going to put on there a very big +7. So at the end, I know I got to add 7 to it. This again is a part over whole equals percent over 100, because you see that percent sign. So let's find out how much that sales tax was. 100, and that's a 9. We got the total bill, the 100%, $42.75, and that is your X. So 100 X equals $42.75 times 9. So go off to the side. $42.75 times 9. Okay, then you move your decimal over twice, so you have to move it over twice there. So that comes out to 100x equals 384.75. Now divide by 100, divide by 100. And that just means I move my decimal because I am dividing by 100. So this is getting smaller. I divide by 10, divide by 100. So that gives me x equals 3.8475. Now remember, money only works this far, so you got to look at that one. If that is 5 or more, that 4 rounds up. So your final answer is $3.85. Now we're not done because you got to actually add up your total for the bill. So $42.75 plus $3.85 plus that $7 tip we can't leave out. And this is what happens every time you go and eat somewhere. Came out to $53.60. Again, pick up your pencil, answer number 3 all by yourself in your foldable, and check your answer with a partner. Set it up just like the example. Okay, so Fabio's Hair Salon Company is charging him an extra 14% increase in tax next year. If this year he paid this amount, how much will he pay next year? So this is involving percents. So it is comparing money and percent again. So we are doing a part over whole equals percent over 100. Now set up your proportion ratio equal to another ratio, and there is 100. Now the 100% is last year's taxes. Now it's going to increase 14%. So you could put a 14 here, or you could put 114%, because that's the increase. That's exactly what he will be paying, because it's the 100% plus 14 more. And you could calculate that. That way you don't have to add them together at the very end. So we're going to cross multiply. 100x equals 114% times 587.5. So go off to the side. 587.5 times 114. Knock that one off. Automatically add that 0 in for that spacer. 1 times that is obviously that. 5785. I love multiplying by ones. So I knocked this one off. So you have to add 2 zeros in there. And then you add 5875 because I'm just multiplying by a 1. Now let's add straight down. Now notice how crooked I write. So I cross them out as I go. 0, 5, 17, 19, 16, and 6. Now I used one decimal, so I got to move over one decimal. So 100x equals 66975. Now divide by 100, divide by 100. So that just means start at the end, divide by 10, divide by 100. So taxes next year, 66975. And that would be dollars. You do not have to go back and add anything. You don't have to find the 14% and then add it, because I added it right here, the 100 and the 14. You could do that with any of them. Do number 4 now and check final answers with a partner. Okay, if Jules paid $24.40 in tax on a $319 bill, what was the tax rate charged? Again, from your notes, rate means percent. So what was the percent charged? So part over whole equals percent over 100 equals in between 100 down on bottom. The percent is what you're looking for. So we want the part that is $24.40 to find out that tax rate. And the original 100% is $319. Cross multiply and solve. It's not fun, I understand. 319x equals, multiply by 100, so it's getting bigger. Multiply by 10, multiply 100, that is just 2,440. Now divide by 319. So let's go off to the side. 2440 divided by 319. So 319 is not going to go into 244, but it will go into the 2,440. So let's get that divided out and see what we get. I'm looking at 300, and 300 goes into 24 8 times, but this is a lot, so I'm going to go with the 7 and go with 7. So I get 7 up here, 63, 7 plus 6 is 13, 7 times 3 is 21, so that is 822. I did good. So that is a 7, 0, 2, 207. Add your decimal, add your 0. I know 300 is going to go into that. 20, so 3 doesn't go into 20 7 times. It's not going to go into 6 times. So let's go with a 5 and see if we get it. That would be a 45, 9, and that would be a 15. So that is not enough. So we go back, and we're going to say 6. 6 times 9 is 54. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 5 is 11. 18, 19. There we go. So that one's close enough. So when you subtract, borrow from the 6, make that a 6, that's a 10. 6, 5, and a 1. And it's not going to go in there 0 times. So the tax rate is about 7.6%. And that's your final answer. Last one, try it on your own and check your answer with a neighbor.